Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are making some vegan sourdough French toast, naturally leavened with sourdough that I then made into some incredibly delicious and indulgent vegan sourdough brioche French toast. What a mouthful. This is totally inspired by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's The Brick French Toast, so stay tuned and keep watching this video to learn how to make these. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showing you all how to make some vegan sourdough brioche bread. This bread is traditionally made with lots of butter and lots of eggs, but today I'm going to share my recipe with you guys on how to make your very own vegan sourdough brioche at home with your own natural leaven and ingredients, making it totally vegan. So start by adding 780 grams of bread flour to the bowl of a stand mixer. Add 15 grams of the salt of your choice and mix together. Once those ingredients have been mixed, then add 2 vegan eggs. So I will add this to the description, but I use a specific egg replacer product. However, you can use flaxseed or chia seeds. I recommend actually using ground chia seeds if you're going to replace this vegan egg replacer, but either way, it's made from 2 tablespoons of the product and 6 tablespoons of water. Once you've given it a good mix, add 540 grams of soy milk. Soy milk is my favorite milk to bake with because it resembles whole milk in a lot of its properties. So add soy milk to the mixture and give it a good mix until it's nice and smooth. As you continue to mix your dough, you're going to realize that it's honestly put together and it seems as though the dough is finished, but here's the tricky bit. We're going to add 400 grams of olive oil. So instead of using butter and a ton of eggs, we're going to use a lot of olive oil to give this bread all of that fat that it has that makes it so rich. We're going to add the olive oil 1/4 cup at a time. Be super patient. It's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to actually fully absorb the olive oil into the dough of the bread. So add your 1/4 cup, allow it to mix in your stand mixer for about 5 minutes, and then add another 1/4 cup. Once the olive oil is totally absorbed, that's when you know the dough is done. It's a very dense and enriched dough, and thankfully for us, we don't have all those eggs, but we do have a lot of olive oil, so be patient. It will come together and it will be a super delicious dough and totally worth it. Be sure not to add it all at once because otherwise the olive oil spills all over the place. You will have to probably take the dough off the dough hook every once in a while if it starts to come out of the bowl of your stand mixer, but this isn't too big of an issue. Once your dough is completely put together with all of the olive oil, all of the flour, all of those great ingredients, then we're going to add 100 grams of fed sourdough starter. The sourdough starter has hopefully been fed 8 hours prior. I add the sourdough starter after I've added all of the other ingredients because I allow the salt to settle in the bread, I allow it to auto-lease just a little bit, and for some reason the sourdough starter just reacts way better when it's added after all of the initial ingredients. Perhaps it just gets to know the bread a little bit better. Once you've added the sourdough, I mix it just once more, and then I let the bread prove at room temperature for about 2 to 3 hours. You're gonna take the sides and pull it into the middle twice to create some glutinous structure and let it rest in the fridge overnight. The second day, so this is day 2, we are going to split our dough into 6 equal portions. So make sure you get your scale out, you weigh the entirety of your dough. This is gonna give the brioche dough the iconic look, that sort of bubbly dough that we all love and know. So definitely do this process in order to have that sort of iconic brioche style. After you've divided your dough into 6 equal portions, you're essentially going to form 6 little dough balls by creating some tension, by kneading the bread just a little bit, and also gliding it towards you, as I've shown in different videos, previous videos on how to make specific vegan bakes. This is super easy. It's just a little time consuming, but it's totally worth it to get that iconic brioche look. Once you've finished shaping your dough, you will then add the 6 equal portions to a greased tin, a loaf tin preferably, and add 2 pieces at a time so that they divide and look like 6 specific sections of the dough into your loaf pan. You know the look, just do it. It's totally easy and it'll look great once it starts to rise. Try to get them in as even as possible, but if it doesn't work out, it's no big deal. Now I just add a little bit of oil and some soy milk to the bread because it's gonna prove for about 6 hours at room temperature. So be sure to do this in the morning, or at least at a time where you can just let the dough prove. I love to allow my bread to prove right next to my window, right next to my plants, and it works beautifully. You know when your dough is proved when you can poke a little hole in it and it rises back. After I took this shot, I let it sort of prove for another hour until it was perfect. But there's the demonstration nevertheless. You're gonna preheat your oven to 375 degrees, but right before doing that, I recommend you add another loaf tin and some ice to the bottom of your oven. You don't have to do this, but this just creates a nicer rise with your bread. This is very traditional in French baguettes, so for those of you who have baked French baguettes, you know the process. Add your dough to the oven and bake for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes until super nice and golden brown. About midway, I like to take it out and add more of the olive oil and soy milk mixture because I love to have that really nice browned top. And so this replaces your sort of egg wash. And then you just put it in for the time that you believe it needs to take. Mine took about an hour 10 minutes really. It depends on your oven, the temperature, there's so many components, but you kind of get the feel of when bread is done, when it's nice and hollow, when the inside is soft, or you could stick a thermometer in there and make sure it reads about 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's super nice and golden brown, let it cool thoroughly on a rack and you can slice into it. I use this sourdough brioche bread to make some French toast in the style of the rock. I will leave the ingredients and steps in the description. Super delicious. Let me know if you guys tried this recipe. Tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for my next video on Friday for some more vegan recipes. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you next time.